Alright guys, it's another day back in the garage. Last step to getting this car actually started, to start the process of flushing out the sludge with our diesel fuel, is to actually grind down parts of the starter to get it to fit inside the bell housing. Thankfully, somebody messaged me this morning because he saw my thread talking about the pilot bearing giving me issues, and we got to talking, and he was like, by the way, have you run into the starter issue with the bell housing yet? And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't seem to be able to get the starter to fit in nicely. And he showed me in Sharpie which parts need to be shaved down. You can see here marked in Sharpie where I need to start grinding stuff down. So we'll go ahead and do that, and hopefully we can throw this thing in there. This hasn't worked for me for a while, and I just realized it's because I was missing this nut down here when I removed the shield for this thing. If your pneumatic tools don't work and you have your shield off, it's probably because this nut's not tightened or snug down. So anyway, I think we're good to install this thing. All right guys. Yeah, boy! Fired right up after grinding that down. I didn't document, but I also had to grind down a little bit on the other side. But yeah, so got some diesel fluid in the crankcase right now. Now that we know that the car runs, let's go ahead and throw the exhaust on. I love this thing. It's big 3.5 inch, beautiful exhaust. Thanks to Rampage for putting this together. And gonna have to probably turn the car on tomorrow and let it run for a couple minutes, get that sludge pushed out and worked through. Either way, I'm stoked. You're not gonna see a lot of driving footage right off the bat because I really this time wanna make sure that I do things right, and that involves going through everything. I wanna like bring this to get a second opinion from somebody else that could also look over the car, you know, somebody who's got a lot of experience with turbo motors. This is, of course, my actual first turbo build myself personally, and so I want to make sure I've got all my ducks in a row. We fixed the issue with the firing that was missing on the exhaust manifold. That's going to eliminate the exhaust leak. We also are going to, you know, keep this thing hopefully from overheating at all. I think the biggest, most important thing is getting a heads-up display, basically having a digital dash. Maybe we'll hit up Holly, see if they can hook us up with the digital dash, and we can read what's being displayed on our Link ECU and take full advantage of having that thing. Let's throw that exhaust on. The way I am doing this is I've got the exhaust sitting on 2 stools. I lowered the car. Just gonna start from the back here. All right. Now I think it's safe to raise this thing up. All right. That just goes right up here. All right, we've got the exhaust installed, and we've got this duct installed so that when we run it, the exhaust fumes go outside of the shop. Going to go ahead and put some oil in here. Make sure we have a nice mixture of diesel and oil. Crank this thing back up. exciting. Got this thing running. Now we just gotta break things in. We've got some fresh valves. It's probably not the best thing to do with diesel, but at the same time, we also gotta get rid of the nastiness that's inside here. So, progress nonetheless. Alright guys, I'm gonna kill it here. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the future episode of getting the drive shaft made and fit onto the car, and taking it to the dyno and everything else that we're gonna do to this thing to get her back up, ready, and prepped. See you guys.
These days to go up on schedule. Smash on the model, big vision. Rubber band's best friend, that's big blue. Iced out, looking like a walking igloo. Bad bitch tryna flex my ice.